Hey everyone, so this is going to be quite a bit different of a video. Still involves gaming, somewhat indirectly, but I'm going to be more directly talking about the gaming aspect of this. And I didn't really know if I was going to talk about this or how I was going to talk about this, but with the situation with the Ghost of Yotei devs, it's something I think I should talk about. So obviously about what happened. I think most people in the world know that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And how this involves gaming is there was a Ghost of Yotei developer from Sucker Punch who made some pretty shitty comments, a pretty shitty joke about the death of Charlie Kirk, and this person got fired. A lot of people saying they're gonna boycott the game now. I don't know if it's a lot, maybe just a certain section of people on Twitter or whatever, but a decent amount of people I saw are saying they're gonna boycott the game. I don't know if it'll affect sales or that too much, but where do I want to go with this? I mean, there's a lot I could say. Let's start with this. So they fired this person who's made this joke, made this comment. It was a pretty nasty joke. I mean, it wasn't the worst of the jokes. I'm not going to repeat it. It was something about, the Luigi killer, and she made a joke about Mario. Is stupid. But what I will say is I am anti-cancel culture. I am pro-free speech. So I'm always going to push free speech, and I'm going to say I'm anti-cancel culture. I don't think you should ruin someone's life over their speech, over what they say, as long as they're not harming someone, they're not threatening someone, inciting violence and all that. Things that fall within the First Amendment, I am pro-free speech. That being said, I'm not going to say I have an issue with Sucker Punch firing this person, because at the end of the day, she represented a company. She working for a company. She represented this company. She made a post online that got a lot of attention, and it made the company look bad. It makes Sucker Punch look bad. So I don't have an issue with them firing this person. I'm not going to say this person deserves to never have a job again. That's ridiculous. She didn't kill Charlie Kirk. She just made a bad joke about it. So that's what I'm going to say about it. And now about the boycotting thing. I've said in previous videos that I am pro-boycott. If you think something's wrong, if you think something's bad and you're against something, boycott it by all means. That is an American thing to do. One of the most American things you can do, protest, boycott. I'm all for it. However, I won't be boycotting Ghost of Yotei for this. I will be purchasing day one. I'm still hyped for Yotei. I'm still gonna make some more videos about Ghost of Yotei before it comes out, which is part of the reason I wanted to make this video, because I know I'm gonna make videos praising Ghost of Yotei in the days and weeks to come, so I figured I should make this video and talk about this. And like I've said before, I'm not going to be afraid to talk about issues. I'm a gaming channel. I want to talk about gaming stuff. But when, things interweave with gaming, I will not be afraid to talk about it and give you my opinion. I'm not going to be upset if you have bad things to say about me. I don't give a shit, bro. This is just I'm just going to be honest. So I'm not going to boycott Ghost of Yotei. I understand if you want to. I'll just say this, though. There's people in these companies, these gaming companies, that are far worse than this person that made a bad joke. The CEOs and the leaders of these corporations do some of the dirtiest, nastiest shit you can think of. A lot of them, not all of them, but there's a lot of people in the gaming industry, and I'm talking mostly about the CEOs, the head of these corporations, that are very bad, greedy people that, you know, will screw people over to just make a quick buck. And I think those people are far worse than some random person making a bad joke. That's just my opinion. You're free to disagree, but I think the actions are way more important, way more tangible than words. That's why I'm pro free speech. That's why I'm anti-cancel culture for things like this. But I understand if you want to boycott it, I understand why Sucker Punch fired this woman, and that's what I'll say about this. And the other gaming related thing that involves, you know, the assassination is Helldivers. The killer made some engravings on one of the bullets that had a Helldivers reference. It's fucking stupid. And now that brought into the question about, you know, violence in video games. I think RFK said something about blaming video games. That has been a thing for decades, people blaming video games for violence. And it's just nonsense every time. It doesn't matter what happens. I mean, people in all these other countries are playing the same video games. They don't have the same violence problem that the United States has. It's just that simple. I mean, we're all playing, people in Australia, people in England, people in every country and continent in the world are playing Helldivers, are playing all these games. They don't have the same violence problem that the United States has. And that's what it is, you know, it's violence. It's this violent culture that we have developed over time. I'm not going to go into I have theories on why we in this country are so much more violent than other countries and things like that. I'm not going to go too deep in that today. That's not what this is about. But, you know, it's everyone's always got to blame something that's not the actual blame. You know, they're blaming this group over here. They're blaming this people over here. They're blaming video games. They're blaming all these things that aren't the problem. The core issue, I always want to get to the core of the issue, the soul of the issue. The core of this issue is violence. It's this violent mentality that a lot of people have. And that's the problem. It's not video games. It's not the left. It's not the right. It's just this violent nature that a lot of people have in this country. And obviously not everyone is. Most people in this country, most people in this world are good people, are not violent. They want peace. But it only takes a few terrible, evil, rotten people that have been lost, that are lost in the head, that have lost their way. It only takes a few to cause mass chaos and shit like what we're seeing going on right now. It only takes a few. And the last thing I want to say, because this whole video was about Charlie Kirk, kind of indirectly, I think I need to give my thoughts on Charlie Kirk a little bit here. I'll admit this is a guy that I mostly disagree with, definitely. But the one thing I respected about Charlie Kirk is that he was willing to go out there, willing to go out in front of hundreds and thousands of people on college campuses. You know, this is supposed to be the best place to hash out your thoughts, hash out your ideas, like on a college campus, the center for learning in this country and in the world. Go to the college campuses, talk to people you agree with, people you disagree with. He was not afraid to debate people. And that's one thing I could absolutely respect about Charlie Kirk. So he absolutely did not deserve to get gunned down in such a terrible way in front of the whole world. It's shocking. It was shocking to see. I saw the videos, and it's sad, and I'm scared about what this is going to cause going forward. But like I said, we need to stop playing the blame game. It's not one side or the other's fault. Conservatives, liberals, non-political people, there's violence among all of us, and all of them, you know, all these different groups have very, very violent people, and to blame one side or the other is just missing the point completely, and is only going to cause more division. Like I said, the core of the issue is just this violent nature that we have in society, and that's what needs to be addressed to stop this from happening. It's not video games' fault. It's not, you know, people making bad jokes. You know, that's obviously not helping. It's only going to cause more division. What we need is everyone to say, hey, this needs to stop now. The hatred, the violence, the divisiveness, it needs to stop. That's the only way that this problem will get fixed. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to get worse before it gets better. So anyway, that's all I had to say. You know, the gaming topics that involve this, you know, forced me to kind of make this video. Not Helldivers' fault. Not going to boycott Ghost of Yotei. But, you know, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will be back soon with more videos. See you later.